Welcome back to Study Break. This is the show that we talk about what happened during the episode. We break things down. We ask questions. Get a peek behind the screen. I am your host and just regular guy today, Jared Voswinkle, and with me is Esta, House of Ruedon.
Whoa.
And then with Esta of House of Ruedon is Sawyer Cinderfoot.
Lily Persifield. Whoa, this is weird.
I'm throwing a curveball. I'm throwing a splitter now. I'm throwing a sliding ball at Maddie Lamb. I mean, Morrigan Star.
The bit.
You missed the bit. Yeah, so I don't know if my name is Maddie Lamb or Morrigan Star today, but
It's totally fine. You inhabit both.
Who will I be today? Oh my God, that's the Green Hunter.
Wait, can my fire spirit be Maddie Lamb?
Yes.
Well, I am Morgan Star.
Yes, you should
That's hilarious.
You should be real life Maddie Lamb, and she's like, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Hey guys, what's up?
Whoa, how did I get here?
And she gets like attacked in combat.
yeah, she
and
keeps getting summoned out of her regular life.
She reacts like you do in real life if you were hit by a spell. I'm like, and then also Beans.
That's Olivia Rose McCain to you. And I know this will be a shocker for everyone. I don't have the accent that.
What? You're not Russian?
What is it? Could you really classify that as Russian?
No.
Okay. Let's
Wishfully Russian.
Let's start off with the top of the episode with what happened. Talia finished her speech about love and losing it and destroying the
I thought that was a banger. And Sawyer appreciates a good speech, a little halftime speech, if you will, a little post-game pep talk.
It was a good speech.
It was yummy.
My rose was how much fear it made me feel. You know, like I was like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, part of that came
Rose,
from
this is study break.
I knew
My A+.
Try again.
Part of that came from I knew that y'all hadn't been impressed by the Greens yet. Like,
We hadn't, but it kind of seemed like they were doing that on purpose.
yeah. Well, like that's kind of the whole thing of like,
Strike.
you know, like
fear.
this is what it is. And even like they haven't really interacted with y'all yet. It's kind of like, this is who we are, fucking join us or not. Which is like total opposite of the goals. But I knew I had to get something like big, punchy, and powerful with this little speech because they're not going to last long. Because I thought about them doing like, okay, like, and we'll have like chips and dip and a little punch bar. And then I was like, no, that's a Golds thing. Like the Golds would do that.
Yeah,
they would have like,
Greens would not.
let's have like a chit chat and like a talk back. But then I was like, no,
Yeah.
like Greens are in and out and they're going to fucking tell you what is up.
And
they're
then
going
Golds
to
would be like, come to our other like 5 events that are affiliated. Like Hyperia Youth Group meets on Thursday nights.
I also A+ for the little papers floating down and like giving us a time limit.
Yes. I wanted to give y'all like, because honestly, this campaign has been like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give y'all like some breathing room. Yeah, I guess like going into 3. I wanted to give y'all some breathing room of like 4 days and like deciding what you're gonna do. Y'all will probably go on a quest. And also, I mean, like in the whole thing of like spirit orgs in real life, you know, you like go to a meeting and then you like decide, you talk with your friends, you see what's up.
It's like their first meeting is usually like 2 or 3 weeks after the student
After
activity
like
fair or
student
whatever.
activities.
Like,
yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, like we'll give y'all 4 days so y'all get more used to it and more like into the culture. I'm kind of pounding y'all with like the politics and like setting of this place, and then we'll go into like the whole like, what is a class? What is a quest? What is this?
Yeah.
And then
Actually go to school.
So excited to go to class.
Yeah.
But I think you're doing a good job balancing like the info, like exposition politics with like exciting, like the Revenant encounter.
yeah,
was
I
good.
wanted
There's
I
like
wanted to do
exciting
something
stuff
fun
that's
with
happening
that.
in the moment.
Yeah.
it felt very like the Monsters University with the librarian.
With a librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I this was not something that I pulled from a book. This was literally like, okay, I've established that there are like revenants that clean. So how do we do something? And we'll get to that. But
I can't believe I tried to test. Oh yeah, sorry.
yeah, we'll get to that.
My spells,
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
A+, fucking goated.
yeah.
17 points of healing.
Yeah, that was
20
really good.
points
Yeah.
of damage.
I need to start
Dope as
bringing
hell.
it.
Holy shit.
No, that's okay.
So the papers fly down. You guys have 4 days. We just talked about that.
I did just use both of my second level spells. So I only have first level spells now.
The papers also like I don't know, for me, make me really nervous because it's like now we have a piece of something that like we were at that meeting definitely that somebody could find. I don't know, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes me nervous.
It seems I'm gonna tell y'all right
There
now.
were a lot of freshmen there who
Y'all-
like,
Yeah, I'm not
Well,
saying like it's gonna be like the
y'all-
most incriminating thing, but it's like
Y'all are kind of
I
going
don't
down
know.
this path that like I don't know if as like the DM I'm sure I want you because I don't know if it's the most interesting thing. I don't think it opens y'all's up.
GM.
So like there are 4 days y'all have to decide. So I would think I was trying to give y'all a little bit of time of like deciding in game and in person of like what we want to do. So and also y'all are freshmen. I think that it's from the speech it sounded like if you choose them, you will
That's how-
choose
I
the
know,
side.
I
That's
know.
how
but
I
it's still,
feel.
like
Not if I ever see you talk to them, I'll kill you.
yeah,
Like
but
the-
the golds they were like
Well, she
Yeah, they
she
don't
was
look
just
at
kind of
That was
like
in, like a mean girl
choice.
way.
that was in kind of like a like hey like
that
just
doesn't scare you.
like just so you know.
It's terrifying.
They've
golds
killed
don't feel like-
people.
the golds don't feel like a choice. The greens feel like you have a choice.
I know, but I feel like we're all kind of leaning towards like not wanting to be a part of either of them. So now I'm like, I'm nervous when if and when we make that decision, or we could all choose different things.
Yeah. Well, and that was also important of like kind of y'all each got a card. It wasn't a group
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, like we could all choose something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happens. Y'all talk to Igneous and Raven and Sapphire, who are kind of like developing their own kind of views on things. And then
They were varsity.
yeah, they're varsity.
I can't believe it.
This is bullshit. They
I'm
keep
gonna
beating us at
kill.
everything. That's my.
They
F.
did like 1d10 damage on the demon. Are you kidding me?
Not even.
Yeah, my F is that they keep fucking beating us.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them that they got the nice room, but it's
No,
not their
I'm
fault.
not.
No, it's not their fault. It's the system.
my parents.
No, there's.
My
We
parents
only
paid
needed
for half
one
the
other
instinct.
person in the group to pay, and there's
I feel
4
like
of
we
us.
have a lot. I feel like we have a lot.
I
of
only paid for
things.
half of it.
Should we have taken advantage of the sleepover vibes more?
Which-
I don't know. We have a lot of shit to talk about. You
We've
you
got
were
plenty of
always
time.
Beans is always like, I am in hell, no pun intended. And then Esther's always like, oh, my family loves me, but they hate me. I don't know. I just feel like I have some questions.
I think well
I
okay.
was gonna
so-
see what kind of friends do you have? Like I don't know, or like or something. I forget what you said.
Sawyer had arcane
And
ball
then-
teammates.
And then you went, and I was like, okay.
Well, and so I'll say this really quick of like, we're not a really like heavy role play
We're not.
kind of group. Like, I mean, like we want to have a story and like we want to like have a little role play moment, but
I would roleplay for like 3 hours if I could. So that's,
yeah,
not
yeah.
a-
And like, and it's like a nice chill improv thing.
Also, we got time.
And also like, yeah, we're not, I would say like, that would be really cool if one day like we can have like cool, like improv dramatic things. But I know that that's like, I don't think that it's like super interesting unless like you're way into it. But
I feel like down the road it will.
down the
Also,
road,
We've known each other for 2 days.
2 days.
Like
Yeah.
we've as players feel a lot of like sense of loyalty, and also that's just how the game of D&D works.
Yeah.
That you can't
Yeah.
split the party up.
This is like after it's like I don't know if Sawyer would have admitted she thinks you're cool and she's known you for 2 days. I don't think she would be like,
Yeah.
I didn't have any
It's
friends.
like think about summer
but I
camp.
said it, so
yeah. But
It's
also,
like think about the girls in your group at summer camp. It's like
Yeah.
it took you like probably to like night 3, 4, 5 even
to spill your soul.
to spill your soul.
to
Yeah.
spill your soul.
Well, and going back to like the role play thing of what's more interesting is, do you have coming from this place of like, I have this whole backstory in my head and now I'm just going to say it. And like, it would be really hard for like a good role player to just like make that meaningful
Yeah.
and make that good.
Realistic
Whereas
at
like,
all.
if we go through events that inform your backstory, and in those moments you're like, oh, like this informs like a little backstory thing, let me role play this, let me talk to this NPC, and then I can talk to my PCs. I think that like we just have to play more game so that it can inform those moments, because I mean like y'all all have backstories, y'all all have stuff that you haven't told
yeah, I
each
have
other.
really substantial
And
stuff
so
about my
we
childhood,
just need
like
to like
Arcano League.
go
And
through
that
that.
would like inform Sawyer's character as she is now, but like that's not something that I could just like be like
Yeah.
this happened to me and it
Yeah.
would have any real impact.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna
Yeah.
flat out tell you that my backstory is not that detailed. I could
Yeah.
not
Well,
tell
then,
you.
yeah,
that
just
much
let
about
roleplay
my
Exactly.
Yeah, but then
Inform
like
those
that's fun
things.
because you get to discover it and you have more
Exactly.
like freedom to like kind of fill in your backstory,
Yeah.
whereas like,
Well, and
like,
I
I
was-
have a very detailed backstory. So,
I
like,
think it's
I'm kind of
yeah.
held to that in some respects.
Yeah.
I do talk out of my ass a lot though, so
I think it's very interesting that we're talking about backstories right now because hint hint next episode will probably be backstory heavy.
Oh, interesting.
With whose?
Everyone.
Equal opportunity.
Well, and also like something I want to do more of is like asking y'all questions and stuff like that about like how would you describe this? Like I think this is an F. I mean, episode 4 just came out like Wednesday. This is an F all the way back to episode 4 of like I wish I'd asked Beans to describe your father's face. Because like okay, like Beans describe your father's face, and then that's what they see. They see a tabaxi cat, blah 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 blah. How you describe it, but you see your dad.
Yeah.
well, it's also like a nicer reveal of like instead of saying like it's Beans, you see your dad. It's just like Beans. Can you describe your dad for me?
Exactly.
Yeah, like
that's something that I'm
and then
like learning.
and then it's also kind of like not putting me in the shit, but putting me in the shit of like I also like
yeah,
get to tell the story rather than have it just
and it
told
becomes
to me.
more collaborative.
Is
yeah,
your dad also as brown as you are?
No,
yeah,
No, because we asked. I remember.
he's
but
not brown at all. He's black.
yeah, we will. But yeah, we'll get into that stuff next episode. Hint, hint. But like, I want to do more of like asking questions of like, how do you see this, or like, where does this happen? Because I want to bring in more of that collaborative storytelling. Because I've really been I've been driving a boat.
I also think it's like as people get invested in the story that is like moving super quickly and the pacing is good and all these things are happening, it's like at this point, episode 9, 10.
Yeah.
This is gonna. be 10,
They're
yeah.
really going to be invested in the characters.
Yeah.
And it's like there's more room to be like, okay, like
Give me some meat.
This has been an exciting story, but like, I really want to like get in deeper.
Who y'all are?
Yeah, it's like they've heard all the little comments and are probably registering them more than we do, like at the table, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's gonna be really satisfying when they get answers, right?"
Yeah.
So it's also like at some point,
I don't want to keep them waiting forever.
at some point, we're gonna like be forced to like reveal things, right? It's like the pressure's on with Beans, like demonic shit is happening and closing
Yeah.
in on the little guy. So like eventually he's going to have to like tell y'all what is happening.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. It's like,
Well-
would Sawyer have asked like at that point, It's also like, wait to wrap the episode up. But
Morgan's also gonna have to be put in the shit with a lot of that, right? Like she
Yeah.
feels demonic spirit.
Well, you're
now.
like obviously cursed and being
Yeah.
possessed, and it's like we have to deal with that, but we're not really like we know about it, but I'm not gonna be like, how's the possession going?
Yeah.
Tell me about how being possessed was.
Do you
today.
feel terrible today?
yeah. Well, it sounds like next episode is going to be a good. I don't know.
meaty?
Yeah, I think it's like
Exploration of
figuring
it.
out where like if it fits in the moment to ask about something, but it's like we don't have to force.
It's also kind of interesting to be possessed and not want to get more powerful, but also want to get more powerful. Because
Yeah.
like, the more powerful I am, right, the more the possession could do.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like the more you level up, and like
Yeah.
we don't address it, it's like it could be here in your level 6, and then it's like, well, we're gonna get fucked.
You already
gotta
pointed
get-
a knife at me in your sleep.
Oh God, player versus player.
Yeah.
And my player is pretty goated.
She's goated.
You can't take down Beans.
So y'all hear then the bells tolling. You see people running. Y'all go into the cafeteria. Then you look out. You see the girl who is like, oh, like the greens are ran. Like the gold's button do that. She gets fucking nabbed. She gets
nabbed.
scooped.
Sorry, girl.
Is it? Nab him and grab him.
Nab him and grab him.
Grab.
And then y'all start this little stealth encounter that I kind of like whipped up.
That's
Kind of
good.
a little bit based off of like, I love the idea of like, there's a thing you try to do, and then there's a random table that can happen, or like a DC, an extra DC that you're trying to beat that affects stuff.
Yeah.
There's like the ability check, and then there's like the luck check that I think is kind of a core thing that is really good. And I was going to say it earlier of like, I feel as though like that's the University of Brian Murphy from NADPOD, who's like amazing at coming up with encounters, is just like, how can we roll the dice and mess with the system this encounter instead of just like fighting and doing this and doing this. And something also that Murph talked about a lot is like interesting combat for entertainment podcasts. Like I learned in episode 2 that's like that was a long podcast. I tried to make some tanks, but it started going on for a little while. So like something needs to be happening in that combat. So I tried to make these revenants like glass cannons where like they have like 3 things they can fucking do a turn, and they could probably take one of you down. And like if they kill you, then you're paralyzed. But if you're down, then like you're not paralyzed. But then they had like 25 hit points. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I really liked it. I do wish that like luck check or something was almost like, I know you just whipped it together, but like almost like a mini game inside of the encounter. Like I don't know if it's like more
added like
obstacles
a couple more
or, like,
things.
just like changes it, so like maybe we have to make an extra roll, like maybe it's stealth and like survival, like kind of like compounding things together, because it
I
was
like
like
that.
I was really good at stealth, so I wasn't super nervous for
Or
it.
if there's another element that brings in another, so we're all using stealth and we were all good at stealth, but what if it's like somebody in the party really stinks at stealth? Maybe
Yeah.
they have a high persuasion, like there's somebody else that they have to like that's like
Yeah.
across from them, and they have to like convince them
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like,
would
be
be cool.
quiet.
Like,
Like-
put the people who are really good at stealth at a disadvantage a little bit, and then the other like party members can shine. And also, it just like would make us all feel more nervous, because like
Yeah.
after like the third one, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I was
Yeah,
glad
that's
we
what I
did
noticed.
kind of badly at it because it was more interesting. Like the times when we failed,
The
those were most
possibilities.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
types of
wanted
the
to
fight.
say like C on my dice for like the 1, but also it was the only encounter with the revenants that we got. So
Yeah.
also I don't want to fail it because I liked that encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really liked
Well,
it. It was just
yeah.
like,
I mean, that's probably not the last time y'all be going to your room late at night.
True.
So
Seriously.
I mean,
We learned a
True.
lot.
yeah, and so I think that'd be super cool is to change up that encounter instead of it being like the same every time.
yeah, like make it harder, right? Because,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
maybe
I would
they
definitely
are
make it
a little
harder.
easy on the first night because they're like, we know a bunch of people are gonna be out. We're just trying to like
Yeah.
scare them, but maybe like halfway through the semester, it's like, no, we're not fucking around. Like,
Yeah.
we send out the
And then
really
it's
bad
like-
revenue.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the story. I mean, this is not spoiler because I have no idea what's going to happen, but it's like probably something's got to happen, right?
Yeah.
That like there's increased
Yeah,
security,
like,
or something like
cracks
that.
down.
Yeah.
The janitors are security.
Well, I mean, they kind of are. I mean, they're double job.
Are they getting compensated?
They don't sleep apparently, so they.
They were cleaning up
They're
this
ghosts.
Do you
from
think?
the girls leaving the meeting.
Are
That's
ghosts
hilarious.
that's what
to
he
be
was mopping up.
compensated? In
Well,
this world?
they're. I mean, the thing is, like, they're not really ghosts. They're like people who have come back from the dead, kinda. And
to clean.
the question is like, it's not do you think that these revenants are compensated, it's how much do you think
That's what
that
I'm
they are
saying.
being
That's what I'm
compensated.
saying. Are they being compensated
Yeah.
enough for their double?
Well, the reason I went to
Probably
sleep
not.
because
Did they
I didn't.
choose to come back? Anyway, we don't need to get into this.
Oh, the reason I tried to cast sleep was like I was trying to
Dude,
not
switch it
use
up,
my
which
Arcana ball
I
like
think
that
is
every time.
amazing
But
and
it was
super
also
cool.
because I didn't want to it's like, all right, the janitor. I don't want to fucking bean no
Yeah.
pun intended. The janitor, like I felt
Well,
bad.
That's
So,
like what I was trying to
that's, like,
introduce
why
with like
my
the
mind
flame
was there.
blade that like she slashed him and it was like misty and like
Yeah.
a little weird. It wasn't like you fucking cut
It
this
seemed
guy's
more
stomach
like we were
open.
exhausting them than
Yeah.
anything. Like
Well-
if they're paralyzing us instead of killing us,
Yeah.
like whatever we're gonna do to them is gonna be some
Yeah.
sort of like they get sent
Non-lethal.
back to their
With
chambers or whatever.
well, I mean, with revenants, it's like they can't die. Like they have a mission to do and they cannot die.
yeah, so we would just make them like I don't know,
You
fade into
you
mist.
turn them into ash and then they like effectively respawn after a while.
Yeah, that's what I was. So I was thinking to make myself feel better
yeah.
about
I like my
fighting a janitor.
You liked your
I
flame blade?
like my flame blade.
It's very good.
I'm very excited.
Morgan's very good. Well, speaking of security, 10 minutes ago, hall monitor Sabina.
That was
Love Sabrina.
awesome.
So
I
cute.
literally wanted to in character be like, "Thank you, you're so cool.
I
Thank
had
you
so many
much."
questions. I had so many questions.
Yeah,
I had so
But I
much
was
questions
like,
for her. I didn't want. Yeah.
I'm so obsessed with her.
yeah.
Them? Question mark.
No,
You were kind of doing both, so
I-
I didn't know if it was a both.
I thought about that in
She,
the middle. I was
they.
like, she's planned as she, her. So
Okay.
Okay.
I just noticed you using they, and I was like, ooh.
I mean,
Which is like
she.
yeah.
As I created her,
Fine,
she would be
whoever-
cool with they. She would be totally fine
as,
with they.
as far as I can judge the character. Yeah. Anyway, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did the Arcano Ball thing because I was like,
I'm
I
really
don't.
glad you brought that.
I was like, I don't want to like provoke her. So I was like, what's
Yeah.
the way I can try to get that information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
without her like getting upset, because I feel like the last time we talked to her, she got upset the way we asked things. So I was like, I mean, Beans was just being genuine about it, but Olivia was like,
I really wanted to ask her about Tara, if she knew anything about her or knew her.
I don't want to ask her any
should
more
have.
questions. 'cause
I
she
should
gets
have,
offended
but
every time
I
talk.
was the same thing. I didn't want her to like. I think she's cool, and I want like
Yeah.
to be friends with her.
true.
So it's like
we don't want to get on
I don't
her
want to
bad
like
side.
upset her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't-
After she was just really nice
I
to
would-
us.
Isn't this the same shit as real life where it's like, oh, like I want to talk to this person,
Yeah.
but I don't want to upset them.
Literally.
I want to know this
Yeah.
important information, but I can't
Also-
upset them.
I heard this thing about this person, but like, oh, if I bring it up, are they going to fucking hate me?
Yeah.
Like just because like the characters that you sometimes the characters that you don't give a specific voice to like sound cooler and like more relaxed. You know what I mean? I don't know if this makes any. It makes
Well,
sense in my
Sapphire
head.
is like pretty eager as a character.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know.
it's like she's eager, and it's like.
But a
if-
Scottish
if they-
accent
if it's-
automatically sounds eager.
But if it's just Jared voice, it's like, oh, they're cool. They're really cool. They're so chill.
Vibrating with energy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
part of it is like, oh, fuck, how many voices do I have?
God damn it, I forgot about
I mean, we only have to do one. Voice.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
give Talia
And,
a
and
voice.
Sawyer doesn't even really have it.
Well, you still could, because we won't remember whatever you did
well,
the first time.
I was planning on it on this episode of like she kind of, you know, she seems more relaxed and different. It was like she is. I mean, peek behind the screen. She's gonna have kind of like a Russian accent because she is also like demonic, hellish, a little bit
Oh,
of like
interesting.
tiefling.
Really gonna step on my toes, huh?
Well, I gave
You
up on
didn't
it,
do it.
because I was
You
like,
got
ah,
scared.
fuck. I got
I
scared.
feel
Yeah.
like I did hear like a. I don't know.
You got scared.
Now that you
because
say that, I
She
feel
might
like
have
I
a
heard it
she might
for
have a light
2
thing.
seconds.
mine is so good.
Yeah.
Didn't want to.
And I was like, oh.
Okay, you're yes, you're very good at it.
Every time people talk to me about the episode, they go, "Is Beans Russian?"
Russia doesn't exist. It's
And you
over.
go,
Exactly. That's
what
my
makes you say that?
I was like,
That's
why
my
would
reasoning
you ever say that to me?
for all the accents. If I don't do a good accent, it's like, well, that place doesn't exist. They
The
just have.
dialect-
That's a made up accent.
That's a made-up
How
accent
do you
in
know
this
whether
land.
it's real or not?
Yeah.
It's just a
But
dialect.
Sabina, I really, now that I like understand the Golden Order, right? I feel like when we saw that tattoo, I was like, whatever. Like I like in theory was like, yeah, okay. But now that I'm like seeing how they got their grippers and everything here, I was like, I want to know, like, are you a kid of somebody? Do you really support them? Are
Yeah.
you? I mean, if she's a hall monitor, I feel like that might be like Golden Order supported, since they're like kind of controlling everything.
But when
Yeah.
you noticed her tattoo, when you pointed it out,
She got
was
upset.
yeah, it's like you got a tattoo, or like you have some sort of symbol of something that you really believed in once, and you don't anymore.
Yeah, it felt kind of like
It's
that.
definitely
going to
be a sensitive subject.
Yeah, like when Sawyer finds out her Frogmont tattoo is Frogmont's not what it used to be.
Dang it! My 5 Frogmont tattoos.
Damn.
That you get every year on you win a Arcano Ball championship,
Sawyer and I have a lot in common, and
and it's Frogmont tattoos.
it's never covered in Frogmont tattoos. No, it's that we do not.
Yeah, y'all talked to Sabina, and then she left.
Yeah.
And then
Spotlight.
y'all went to y'all went in bed, and then y'all tried to expand the walls a little bit. Didn't really work out.
Beans became a god.
Beans became a god of
Oh,
the
that
village.
was fun.
That was
That was
funny.
really funny.
And if you watched our Instagram stories recently, and by recently I mean
A
a
month
month and
ago.
a half ago,
Yeah, a month and a half ago.
the song "Boys Will Be Bugs" by Cave Town. That's a song.
Yeah, the renovations. I don't know. But that was also like I rolled a 5.
That's a
and it's
little.
like-
That's
We
a
have
little.
no furniture. We have nothing in the room we currently have. All we will do is make a bigger empty room.
It was
is
about
what-
catharsis in the moment, and then when I missed the wall, I was like,
There's no point.
I'm at my lowest.
I was like, role play wise, I don't know where to go from here.
All over.
Like
Lay down on the
well,
ground.
in my
and-
head, this room is already huge with nothing in it. So if we knock down the walls, I'm like, what are we gonna do?
Well, so
we're magical, and
Let
we
us
can.
buy upgrades.
We
the
can summon
expanding the
things.
room was a little hint. It
Yeah.
was a little.
What will be fun?
really
I
sneaky
was gonna
little.
magic missile it, and then you were like, "Let's just go to bed."
But we will. We are not done with the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't.
course.
that
Oh,
didn't seem
really?
like-
No shit. We
Yeah.
didn't get a long rest. We were
Well,
sitting
y'all
there.
gotta fucking tune in.
We're on
to
to you.
Y'all are not on to shit. But yeah, there's a couple things that I'm curious that y'all didn't pick up on, but I'm not gonna say anything about them.
It'll
I'll get it
process.
out of him.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my perception, Lily's perception,
0.
low.
Plus,
Yeah.
minus 2.
Minus 2, I don't
What's
know.
funny is that I know some of the audience will pick up on it.
They will.
Of course they will, because they can pay attention.
Noticing? Why are they not? I was out in the hot sun all day today.
Because they can pay attention,
my
but
brain isn't.
I'm out here being like, I gotta pay attention. I gotta think about what I'm gonna say. I gotta think about.
I gotta think about
Numbers.
how I fight.
I gotta think if my dice is.
I said something and I like looked around real quick, like whenever it
What
happened.
was it?
We were like,
I'm
we
not
don't
gonna tell y'all.
care.
And then I was like, "Ooh, okay, then I can say anything." Okay.
What was it?
I'm not.
Are you kidding?
But, like,
Oh my
it's
God.
That Felicity
People
thing.
laugh.
That was like a lucky break. You know, when I was like, oh my god, and I figured it out.
Yeah.
Like that was a rare occurrence for me.
Don't expect it to happen again.
Like me having an
Well,
epiphany
that
like
was-
that. My memory is
That
so
was
bad.
like
It
that
will
was
not
like
happen again.
a perfect alley oop. That was like, here's this thing that like you know very specifically, and like you would probably pay attention to, like Coach and Pin and like things that happen to you.
Yeah.
This is something that happened to someone else.
Oh, it was so good. I will never forget it.
But we'll find out. We'll find out.
Well, let's see.
Something that somebody
All right.
said.
Don't think about it too much.
Who do we
No.
talk to?
No,
Okay.
don't think
okay.
about it too much.
No.
I have-
Hey,
I
you
have
lean back
theories.
and you shut up for a second. Okay. So
Oh my god.
we went to the
I have
cave.
theories that are not
This,
related.
this is a new section called Theories section.
Okay.
Study break.
Yeah.
There was the nerdy girl.
The thing that first I was like, to everyone at the table was when all the greens teleported out and they were all in cloaks. The same as the person who took the.
I think Quintilia was
I
giving.
get what you're saying.
If all of the greens have the ability to teleport and they're all wearing these green cloaks, that's very similar to how Big P was kidnapped.
Oh shit.
It's true. What color was that cloak? I just always imagined it black because
Yeah,
it was a dark, mysterious
I imagine
figure.
it as black.
Yeah, but it is the same.
That was the first thing that like occurred to me.
I thought the speech that
Black
Tilia
or
gave
brown?
about Tara,
Let's say brown.
I thought that was really gay.
I thought it was really gay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know, side eye at Jared to see
Yeah.
if that was. I don't know if we were picking
that
up on
was
that,
gay.
but like
Gay?
that's not really a reveal.
I
That's
just want to say I'm aware of queer baiting, and I will not do that.
so. Like, but it didn't. That wouldn't be
Jared.
if they don't turn out to be
Gay?
gay. That wouldn't be queer baiting. Like you.
This is literally
Yeah.
like
There
being
are
a
all-
Girl
there are
Scout
all
camp.
different types
If there
of
aren't,
love.
if all these girls, it's like being a Girl Scout camp or like Catholic girls' school. If half of these girls aren't gay already, like it's
They gotta be a little
like
gay.
Yeah.
start the whole podcast
what I'm
over.
saying is that felt like
She-
really like a deeply personal connection.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was really torn
She was
up.
cut
Yeah, exactly.
up
So
about
to
it.
me, that felt romantic.
she's
As
a-
Lily,
yes.
definitely not something Sawyer would pick up on ever.
Yeah, she probably
That
was
level
gay.
of any level of
probably a little
romance.
She
Just
gotta be a
Sawyer would
little.
pick up
Oh,
that
yeah.
she really cared about.
Maybe more than a little.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Well, we're only on the cave.
I just know that Igneous was kind of baiting about varsity and
Mm-hmm.
also was very, very into golds.
That just seems like her personality. The
And the
greens,
greens.
you mean, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That seems like her personality. That she would kind of be like, "Yeah, we won, and we're cool."
Yeah, she's totally a baiter.
Masturbator.
Yes.
Anyway,
God damn it.
let's go with our A pluses and fails.
Flunk to the fact that none of us are perceptive enough that we
It was
notice
it was
Jared's cool clues.
it was kind of it was small. As I was describing, like yours was like a big alley oop to you.
Yeah.
This was like a no look pass to like I don't know who I'm throwing it to, but like
It was like
I've done
a
it before.
Snake eyes.
Yeah, it was kind of like ooh, like here's the thing that y'all might pick up on, but it's not like super obvious. But if you were really like, you got to connect a couple dots.
I
to
would
figure
like
this one
to
out.
let you know that during session, my brain goes,
Yeah, totally
See?
fine. Y'all got a lot to think about and stuff.
During session, your brain turns off.
when Jared starts talking about things, if it doesn't sound immediately important in session,
What?
At least she's on it.
At least she's on. No, I get it. I get it.
A plus to us being so stupid because I feel like it really makes our listeners feel smart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you're
that's really
welcome.
important. I think that's really
Is it
important.
about Sabina?
I can't say anything. Okay, my flunks was back on episode 4, but flunks for this episode.
You can't flunk episode 4.
no,
I
The
can't.
whole episode.
I don't think it was the whole episode. It was the
It was
roleplay
the not
thing.
describing.
Yeah, not
not
describing.
describing.
Oh, yeah,
not getting you to
things like
describe.
That's a
it
good.
bad.
That's a good thing to work on.
If all the episodes have had solid hooks, solid fish hooks, this was just a lure. It was no hook on it.
yeah.
It was just kind of like a see what happens.
A
next
minnow?
time. This was like a minnow. Yeah, like
Really, if you know anything about fishing, a
Fishing.
lure would be way better than
way
just a
better.
fish hook.
This is for a lure in a
My
in a
fishing
in a kiddie
aficionado.
pond.
Well, if we're doing a hook, it's like when you like hook it into the mouth, and then this is just the lure. We're about to hook you in the mouth.
But lures have.
It was for listeners of taste.
I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't
No,
a
I
good
mean,
fishing analogy. I'm not gonna.
I'm just saying saying for all of our listeners who are also
fishers.
avid fishers.
Who are listening to
They
this
could get
on the lake
upset.
currently. A plus. I think that was my favorite speech I've done. Talia's.
That
I think,
hit.
of like her talking about like the juxtaposition of like the goals are very holy and they believe in something bigger, and then like the greens have lost something and their love, they know it can be lost. So this kind of like immortal love that has an end. A plus. Also A plus to Maddie rolling the 1, because if you hadn't rolled that 1, we wouldn't have gotten to fight a revenant.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was glad that we like did that first.
Yeah.
And then we're good after that, rather like, I
Yes.
don't know. I feel like that was like the best.
I think it set a little bit. I think it set good stakes. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, I did. That was like where I found the stakes. So,
Yeah.
but then it was like after like the 4th round,
it was kind of like, all right, we get it.
Stake.
And I was like, all right, let's just fucking get through this, and y'all can
Yeah.
get to Sabina.
My A plus is for Maddie being so goated with her spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That
Damn.
was cool.
That was pretty goaded.
My F minus, if you will, is Jared not letting me look at his dice anymore.
That's so you're so
Necrotic
mistreated,
damage.
I did
Olivia.
look behind there twice, and he didn't catch me though.
Okay, that's fine. I just
my
didn't
God.
catch you. Something real quick I'll say is I did a lot of research on like writing blind characters, and like somebody said was that like you can't have like a superhuman blind person, which like I never was planning on doing with Sabina, but it's like how they overcome their like differently able, like their disability, and like how does that affect them on the day to day of like, oh, like this is how she sees. I know the rules of it, of like things that are moving she can sense in the astral plane, but things that are still are like very hard to like determine.
It was
Yeah.
fun to learn more about.
Yeah.
It. And it was fun to have that moment with Sawyer because it's such a Sawyer
Yeah.
classic.
Well, and that's like a great like
Sawyer
Toph,
moment.
like that's like Toph from Avatar,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
there's just, like
Yeah.
so many things. This is like, like look at that. And she's like, I want to, I can't.
Yeah.
But that's like if there's a Gals and Goblins trailer, that's like what Sawyer's moment would be.
That would be
Like,
yeah.
oh wait, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't. Oh
sorry.
no. Oh god.
Yeah. Esta flunking.
My A plus was your speech also.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll give another A plus to the like reveal of Sabina. It was like, because we've had so many moments of like, oh, you're hearing something, or like you're
Yeah.
being
Or like
possessed.
there's eyeballs.
There's eyeballs, you can feel it, and it's like, oh no, it's just Sabina. So it was like we were already so tense that like
Yeah.
the reveal of like someone's whispering in your ear, and then you turn and you see the eyes, and you're like, oh my god, it was a fun like break of the tension.
Yeah.
I really liked
Yeah.
that moment.
Cool.
Yeah.
You could flunk
I
me
flunk-
trying to make the Revenant fall asleep.
No. I flunk. I don't know. I kind of flunk not asking Sabina about Tara, just because like that was such a
Yeah.
good moment, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like the perfect person to ask, who's like not aligned with anyone else, as far as we know. You know, like
Yeah.
she's not aligned,
And I mean, as
or
far
she
as
she
I-
she doesn't appreciate the like golden greens like
Yeah.
war rivalry thing happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a good person to ask who's like kind of away from the problem.
yeah. And as
But
far as I
like,
know,
she's in all
she,
the pictures and stuff.
as far as I know, she doesn't know that you are
A Ruidon.
a Ruidon.
I know.
And also like
Oh, that would have been good leverage. It's
I-
like, I
I-
know this is a sensitive subject for you, but I need to know because it's my
a little and a little
Yeah.
like flashback, like in the study break of like in the pictures of the stuff, it was her, Moray, and it was Sabina, Tara, and Moray.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
Yeah.
she was like kind of in the thick of it with
Yeah.
them, but is removed from this like political structure.
Was Moray also murdered? Moray
was the president who killed Tara.
Moray was the. Oh,
I have it all written down
okay, thank you.
if we need
Yeah.
it.
I think that about wraps up our study break. Keep on studying, y'all. Keep on listening. Look at our socials, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on our, join our Discord. Review the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Keep listening, and we love you.
We love you.
See ya.